Bernar, for this chapel, we are just in front of a chapel of 17th century, I think. You received the blessing of the Pope. Could you tell us the story?
When the chapel was finished, after I decorated it from A to Z completely, it's all my furniture, I thought that something was missing. Now we have to know that this chapel is a chapel dedicated to Saint John the Baptist, who baptized Jesus Christ by the Jordan River, okay? So I thought that a painting would be necessary. And my idea was to ask the Pope, Jean Paul II originally, to participate to make an artwork. This artwork would be a long piece of plywood, only 20 centimeters tall, but about 2 meters long, or even more than that, 2 meters 50 perhaps, on which I was going to write, John was not the light, but the witness of the light. Of course in French, but it's a sentence from the Bible to say who John, was, his personality, his relationship with Jesus Christ. So I thought it would be very nice to make an artwork like that. And with Jean Paul II, it was really too difficult because he was too old, so it didn't work out. Then I had to wait a longer time, about 20 years actually, to end up meeting someone, Paolo Celli, who is a very good friend of the Pope. He was in my house in the south of France, and when I found out that he was a friend of the Pope, I said, oh, wait, I have to tell you. And I explained the story that I had in mind to go by Jordani, and get the soil and get the water.
In Israel, you mean?
In Israel, yes, by the Jordan River, exactly.
Okay.
And make a sort of mud on which, with the finger, we would write, John was not the light, but the witness of the light. And after listening to my story, and he said to me, Bernard, it's done, you are going to do it. And I said, what do you mean? I said, yes, I know the Pope very well, and I'm going to talk to him, and he's going to do it with you. I was very excited, but it took a year and a half before he calls me back and told me, Bernard, December 11, 2019, you have a meeting with the Pope. He knows what you want to do, and he's willing to receive you. So very quickly, I first went to Israel, and I got the mud, I got the water. It was funny because it was very well organized. As soon as I arrived, the TV was there. They made an entire video about that. It was on TV and so on. Anyway, it was very exciting to do all that. And what happened is that I got the mud and the water and the soil, and I came back and I made the piece myself, because actually they told me, look, Bernard, don't ask him to write it with his finger, that sentence. It's too much asking, but he will do something, you will see. So I did that, and on December 11, I was at the Vatican, and I met him. To make it brief, I met him, and I talked to him again, and I explained to him that I was the artist that Paolo mentioned, and I did all this. I'm not going to repeat myself, but I did all this, and he was listening carefully. He was asking me questions. He was very interested by the subject. I told him that I already made a piece with 3 crosses on the mountain by Rocher, the Rocher de Roquebrune, very close to Le Muy, and so on. And he said, okay, where is the work? And so we went on that table, which was just nearby, and he went on it, he put his 2 hands on it, and he concentrated like that for really 10 seconds completely.
Focusing.
It was very focusing, like if he was praying. It was very moving for everybody because he was really very concentrated. And then after 10 seconds, he looked at me and he said, okay, you are the artist. Now, please pray for me. And my wife was just next to me, answered immediately, we will pray for you. And he said, please, I really need it. And then some sort of assistants of the Pope, they took the painting and they showed it to him standing up like this, showed it to everybody. There were like about 5,000 people in that room that day. And he did the benediction and a few sentences, and then that was it.
But why was the blessing of the Pope necessary?
I wanted the Pope to participate. I thought that it would be very interesting to have in a small chapel lost in the south of France on a mountain.
Where you were born.
Where I was born, exactly. But all knowing that Saint John the Baptist was, he's being said as someone who was living in the desert with nothing. I thought that the symbolic would be very nice. That this number one of the chrétienté, the Christianism, would make a gesture, for a chapel like this, very simple, not for Notre Dame de Paris, which but for the opposite of that.
But we can see that this Pope is humble.
Exactly.
Asking you to pray for him, right?
Exactly. Oh, he was very moving. He was really a very simple man. Normally, when you meet him, you go like this, he just shakes hand with you. He's totally okay. We were speaking French. He was very easy.